Hello, lovely people. Welcome to the Ladies' Lounge,
a hub for in-depth analysis, experts, and insightful conversations from women in public relations.
This is where we dive in our profession in detail. I am Alberta Amegboy.
And I am Bernice Ifia Hakron. Stay tuned as we bring you a female perspective of the profession.
Today's discussion will focus on ethics, a crucial aspect of our profession. Joining me here today are amazing women from various organizations. We have Miss Mildred Assar and Miss Charity Audrey from Spark Strategic Communications, the first public relations firm to be established, and also Miss Judith Inkum and Miss Jennifer Kugabina, also from Denver Food and Beverages, a leading food and beverage company in Ghana. Thank you for joining me here today.
Thank you too.
The pleasure is all ours. Alright, so today our discussion centers on a popular quote from Thomas Ross, which says, "Unless you are willing to resign on account of a job over a matter of principle, it is no use to call yourself a member of the world's newest profession. You are already a member of the oldest profession, of the world's oldest profession." So how do we understand this quote by Thomas Ross?
All right. This quote from Thomas Ross is actually something that I actually admire. So first of all, it's talking about we the PR practitioners. So as a public relations practitioner, what do you do with your principles and values? Because in every organization or in every industry, we have certain code of ethics that guides what the practices of the practitioners.
Yeah.
So in public relations, as a practitioner, you're supposed to uphold your principles and your values. But if there's a situation where you're supposed to uphold your values and your principles and you don't do it, then basically you're in the press agency era. Because those people weren't even focused on these ethics, principles, values, and the rest. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
so basically, if you are not practicing your values or your principles as a professional, then you are actually in the olden times. So that's what I would want to say about this quote from Thomas Ross.
Okay, Mary, that was good. That's very true.
And then adding up to my colleague's own, as a PR professional, you need to be ready to stand with the truth and then the truth only.
Okay.
Yes.
And when she made mention of press agency, she said something about being in the past, right? And I remember in the press agency, people were not being honest when it comes to public relations.
Yes, exactly.
Focus more on advertising and getting more people to get their products.
Whether they use false information to get them.
Exaggeration and adding, they weren't always right.
Okay.
So sometimes we are misleading the public.
So that means Thomas Ross' quote is very true. If you are not abiding by your principles and standing by your principles, then you're obviously in the press agency.
Yes.
Exactly that.
Perfect.
Okay, so I would also like to add up. So what this quote is saying is basically what Mamisi said, that we upholding our principles. So there will be a situation whereby your ethical values will be conflicting with your personal interests and you'll be in a form of dilemma. In that state, you have to uphold the principle so that you can be in the modern state of practicing PR.
Okay. Thank you very much. Miss Mildred, I would like to find out, has there been any situation or issue that your organization has faced and conflicted with your principles?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course. I think she would attest to it since we are in the same organization.
Okay, so how did you grow? Like, what was this about and how did it impact your company?
Okay, so I think, as I mentioned earlier, as a public relations practitioner, in your practices, you're supposed to uphold your principles and your values. And, public relations practitioners are they are actually in between the public and the organization.
Mm-hmm.
So at Spark Strategic Communication, we have a lot of clients and we work for the clients.
Okay.
So it's like, in the outside world, the clients are doing everything themselves, but we are managing them ourselves. So we had this client that someone made a viral post, a bad review, and it was very viral on TikTok, Facebook, and other social media platforms.
Okay.
So as public relations practitioners for this particular organization, what do we do? So we had to stand in by upholding transparency and honesty as part of our principles. We had to call the person. So we called the person, then we told the person that we accept everything that she said about what the content that's going viral, and that we want her to take it down.
Okay.
So we didn't threat her, and we didn't like attack her. So in a way of practicing our principles and our values as practitioners, this is the approach we use. Thinking about the public's, thinking about the organization's reputation, because organization reputation was at a higher risk. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Within a twinkle of an eye, like
It will just collapse.
exactly.
All our efforts will be in vain.
If we had gone with a threat, the person would have even gone, overboard.
Extra.
Well, this situation, I was like, did we hear about it? Like, oh,
So the post was viral.
okay.
So in the comment section, a lot of people were talking about it. This organization, is that how they are, this and that. So we contacted the person and we told the person to take it down. But before that, the person should do a content saying that the people have accepted, or the organization has accepted their fault, and they would want to amend whatever that happened and make their services proper, or make their services good enough for the public. So this is what we did. And in fact, we were able to resolve everything within few days. So as public relations practitioners, one, we are supposed to be honest and also be transparent as well. So we adopted these two principles, then we worked with it, and everything was resolved. Now, our organization still has its reputation. It has gained credibility again because of the approaches we use. So basically, that's what I would say about it. Honesty, transparency.
Okay, that's nice. I would also say you guys also took responsibility of the situation also. So you included responsibility.
Yes.
Yes. That's for strategic
Communication.
to spark strategic communication.
Alright, that's cool. I'd also like to find out, Ms. Mildred, what mechanisms exist within Spark Strategic Communications to protect professionals who speak out against unethical practices?
Okay, so in our organization, we have adopted what we call anonymous reporting system.
Okay.
Now, someone may ask, what is that? So basically, it's an open system that we've given everyone access to it, including interns, national service personnel, even volunteers, then the employees, and so even the management. They all have access to this open system.
Okay, so basically everybody
In the organization, from the top management to the down management, even the security also has access to it. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
The cleaners, everybody.
So basically, this is to allow them to be able to spill whatever they want to say, or to say whatever they want to tell the management to work upon. So for instance, if there are some unethical things going on in the organization and you feel you would want to say it, and maybe you think that coming one-on-one or in person would be something, then you just have to access the anonymous reporting system. Then you just put it there. You pick it up and work on it. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I get it.
Exactly. Maybe the employees in the organization feels like maybe when you are promoting the employees to maybe the highest level, we are using a nepotism or favoritism because we like this person. That's why we are giving this person a particular position in the organization.
Okay.
So if you think it's not right, you can't just come and tell the CEO that, CEO, what you did is not right. Do you get it?
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, so that's why we've created this anonymous report system for them to, tell us what they think about our services in the organization.
Okay.
Yeah.
And also,
Also involved, maybe I come to an organization. I'm working with you and I realize there's something not going on. Can I also, report this issue using the anonymous response something?
oh yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
You can.
So with our client, we have a lot of clients. So it could be that the interests of our clients will be conflicting, right? So if you think you have an issue with that, or if you think we are giving you same plan as what we're giving to other clients, then you have every right to let us know.
Oh,
You get it. So they also have access to it as well.
okay. Miss Charity,
Yes.
since you are also in the public relations team, I would like to find out how do you think professionals can balance the need to maintain a positive image with the importance of standing by their principle?
Okay, so as a PR professional, you can balance your image and then your principles by being transparent, truthful, and then whenever you are communicating to your organization or the public, you need to be accountable for your actions, and then you need to stand for correction. Let's say you've done something wrong and then you are being corrected. If you don't stand to be corrected, or you are not showing any concern or not accepting that, yes, I am wrong, but I needed to do it this way or this way. So yeah, thank you for drawing my attention. You see, some people, naturally, they are like that. If you are correcting them, they don't want to listen to you. But as a PR practitioner or as a professional, you need to be ready to be corrected. And then by doing so, you are building trust with your organization and then the public. And then you are creating positive image as well as balancing with the principles.
Okay. So really, from a public relations professional, I have to leave my behavior aside and abide by the principles.
Of course, as a PR professional, you don't need to mix your personal interests in your profession. You need to be professional. That's why we have code of ethics in our dealings. Exactly.
Please, I want to add to what my colleague said. What we are supposed to uphold is moral values. She said it.
Yeah.
Sometimes our moral values would also assist us to know the right decisions to make. And she made mention of we being honest, we being transparent, and all. Yeah. So I think his conditions.
That's true. Miss Charity, again, how can public relations professionals within organizations ensure that they are acting in the public's best interests and not just following the organization's interests?
Okay, so as I said earlier, as a PR professional, we have code of ethics that guide us in our work or our profession by being transparent, truthful, honest, accountable for your actions. So if you are dealing with the public as well as dealing with your organization, by using this code of ethics that guides us in our work or our profession, you can also as well as like solve an issue that wouldn't conflict you, the public and then your organization, but best solve the issue peacefully. Nobody is at fault or nobody will be harmed, whether your organization or the public.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so with what my colleague said, she's so right about this, right? So as a PR practitioner, you're supposed to build what mutual relationship between your publics and what your
The organization.
So in as much as you are in for your organization, but they are the one that employed you and they are the one that are paying you. So you're supposed to make sure that you do things that go in favor of them. But what about the publics? You owe loyalty to them as well. So in every decision that you make, you're supposed to make sure that in as much as you are defending your organization, you must defend your publics as well. That's where the credibility also comes in. That's where you're able to build credibility for your organization among the publics.
Whilst you are thinking about your organization, you must also think about the public as well, because we work for them. Even though we are with the organization is also working for the public. So we need to build mutual understanding or mutual relationship with the public as well, so that it will be a flow of work or transition. Yes.
Okay, so that is to say, if you are facing, for instance, an ethical dilemma, you'd have to weigh out the two loyalties you owe, that is the organization and your families.
Yes.
Weigh the situation as well, and then decide on the decision, and then you're going to take whether it's going to be for your publics or for the organization. Right?
Yes.
And in relation to the quote you stated earlier,
Yeah.
if your organization is influencing you to do something that you think it's against your moral values or your principles. As a practitioner, you have to quit. Just quit.
Really?
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay.
You have to quit, because that's what Thomas Ross said.
Okay.
If you're not able to quit because something is against, or because the organization is against your moral principles or values, then meaning you are still in the press agentry.
You are not being a professional PR.
A practitioner, exactly.
Okay. So it doesn't matter the amount they are paying me. If they are
No,
paying me
just
like
no.
this.
Yeah, just quit. If you're being ethical, you must quit.
Hey.
Yes, I know it's hard, right?
In this modern era, it's not easy.
Yes.
Yes, it's going.
But you see, as a PR, you need to stand for the truth, and then the truth only. You don't need to be biased because of money, or whether the money is higher or huge or anything. You just need to stand by the truth and the truth only. And if standing by the truth will cause you losing your work, then fine, you still stand it.
Hey, you're saying fine.
Yes.
Yes.
Uphold to your principles and
Values.
So if your decision is supposed to go in favor of the public, do it.
Okay.
Just do it.
Right.
And quit the job.
Because you are standing by the truth and the truth only.
You find a new one.
Exactly.
Okay. So if your organization is asking you to do something that goes against your moral principles and the code of ethics in public relations, please, let's just quit.
Quit.
So moving on, I'd like to come to Denver Food and Beverages. So Miss Jennifer, I'd like to find out, in the food and beverage industry, where profit margins can be thin, how do you prioritize integrity and principled decision making, especially in your organization?
Thank you. So, Endeavor Food and Beverages, we produce food and that of beverages.
Okay.
And as a company, making profit is part of our priorities. And also meeting the interest and satisfying our customers too is also our priority. So here is the case that we always get to a point that we are supposed to make profit and still be ethical.
Okay.
How do we balance these two? So one, we define our values.
Okay.
We define our values. And what are our values? We are supposed to give our customers the best of service. We are supposed to give them the best of product that they get from us. We are supposed to respect them. That is our mission. So as we satisfy you, we are also trying not to collapse our business. We're also mindful of what is at stake. And defining our values, there are times that we meet customers that want us to compromise because we say the customer is always right. So when we get to meet these challenges, we fall back to our values. Though we want to satisfy you as a customer, but we also have values that we fall on to practice. So these are some of the things we do. And then also, we also make sure that we listen to your part and whatever you want to do. So after listening to you, and then we go back to our code of conduct and ethics, and then fine, there are days that we are not breaking them, but if we should satisfy you, we are not deviating.
Okay.
So we will still put you in mind. But that doesn't mean that if a customer walks in and tells us, oh, your prices are too high, do this, do that, that is your suggestion to us. But if we take that into consideration, are we supposed to will we still get a chance to operate? So we have to weigh everything, and then we come to a peaceful or a conclusion part that would still make the organization function, and then also not make our customers feel bad. Yes.
So you made mention of code of ethics. I'd like to find out your code of ethics. Do you use a public relations code of ethics in your industry,
Yes.
or you also have? I mean, your industry also. I mean, develop and beverage. You also have another code of ethics that you use.
Okay, so as a PR professional, generally you are practicing according to your code of ethics. And in every organization that you enter, the organization has its own objectives and then values that they uphold. So in Denver Food and Beverages, we also have set of values and objectives that we abide by it, aside the general PR codes that we are supposed to practice in line. So my organization does not produce alcohol, for instance, and then I get a client that is willing to pay extra cost of whatever I produce just for me to produce alcohol for them. And then profit margin is also one of our priorities. This way, in this situation, I am being conflicted whether to uphold my values and my principles of my organization of not producing alcohol, or moving to the fact that I am going to get much more profit of whatever the person will offer me. And so I'm being in a dilemma now whether to produce the alcohol or not to produce. But to uphold my principles and to protect the integrity of my organization, I have to let go of the profit I'm going to get. So, cause fine, whatever I produce, I'm going to get profit on it, all right? But then I'm not looking at a large profit margin just for me to break the rules of going by my ethical values and my company's objectives.
Okay, so aside this instance today on the alcohol, on a client asking you to produce an alcoholic beverage for them, I'd like to find out, has there been any situation that you had to, it came in conflicting with your principles? That is both your organization's principles and then your code of conduct in public relations. Has there been any situation like that, even though it had it meant that sacrificing your long-term margin gains and all that?
So yes, we had issues like that. So we also produce snacks in addition. So we always have seasons that getting planting, because we do planting chips too.
Okay.
So we always have seasons that hunting to get these ripe plantains to produce the plantain chips is very, very scarce, because the farmers will tell us that it's not raining. So yes, the little they get. So there was this one time that we had to go plantain hunting. Let me use that word. So when we got to the farm, we have a farmer that was willing to give us a whole plantation at affordable price, but we had to look around because we go there ourselves, because the water they use, sometimes it's not healthy.
The water for watering?
Watering their plantation.
Okay.
So this particular farmer his farm was just closer to the dam. And when we also did our 1 or 2 survey around, because we went there with our team, we realized that the community, that's where they throw their rubbish, they go to leave their human excreta and all that stuff.
So you
And
guided them?
yes, and this is the water this farmer is using to water what he wants to sell to us. So we were like, no, and say, let's go back, and then, because we just had to give him an excuse that we didn't come with enough money, we are just coming to see if we will get some, because though it was cheap and it was ripe and they were big enough that when we bring to the market, we'll be able to make reasonable amounts. But looking at the environment, it's not nice. And we had to come back and also say that no, the fact that this is not the season for planting and we've gotten this at a cheaper price, if we should go for this offer, we are putting our organization at a risk because this is going to be a short term. And if our public should find out that this is where we get it, though it's a one-time thing, but they will not believe that it's just because of this. So if we compromise and say, okay, they will not know. You don't know who is watching you. So we had to take that bold step that no, it's better we go and buy it at a higher cost, get little profit, and still maintain our image. It's better that way than we compromising that, oh, we are the only people here, it's between us. No. So yes, that was one of the few challenges we had. And we had to take that decision by
No, you
maintaining.
made a statement that reminded me when you said a good name is better than riches.
Yes.
So when you build your reputation, you cannot let it go down the drain just
Yes,
because
yes,
of
yes.
money.
And we value a long-term customer relationship than this short-term.
Okay. So how do you think companies, especially in the food and beverage industry, can promote transparency and accountability in their business or in their operations?
Okay.
To ensure transparency and then to your consumers and then your customers, as food and beverage production company, we sometimes buy goods outside and then you'll be like, the labeling is not even clear. You cannot even read what exactly is written there. So we ensure that we label our products clearly with authentic information and all the necessary info that that you need to follow up whatever we are doing in our organization. Because some people try and then mostly when you buy drinks, for example, you would see that where the expiring date is written is in line with whatever note they have written, and then you are not able to tell between whether it's 2025 or 2026. It happens like that. And then sometimes also when the products are about to expire, that is when companies mostly sell them at a cheap cost
Cheaper
to their
price.
consumers and then their customers. So to ensure that we are being transparent with our customers and our consumers, we ensure clear and authentic labeling of our products. Yeah.
To also add up to what my sister said, in Viva, we also accept media tour. So, sometimes we accept these media personalities to come around to see how we manufacture our products. We take them step by step in everything from. Sometimes we even go to the farms and the market with some of them. Then we bring them back to the company for them to also witness what we do. So these are some of the things we allow the public to see.
That's nice. Let's come to the organization to have this, media
Yeah,
tour.
most-
Oh,
Yes,
sure.
and then
Sure.
please at the
And
end of the
we
tour
also-
to get some of the products too. Can we bring back so we go give some to
Let's see
our
what
family members? I have some grandma and then my grandparents.
Okay. That is really, that's good. To know that you are being transparent in your operation, letting the public know what exactly you are doing in your organization. That's very, very good. I think other organizations too should adopt this. This
Yes.
strategy and use. It would help. But
Yes.
sometimes, we watch videos and you're like, hey, is this what I'm drinking or is this what I'm
Yes,
eating?
yes.
Exactly.
Because we are mostly into food. If
Yes.
you don't let them see what you produce, that's trust is very difficult. And now we know that our environment is being polluted day in, day out. So people question us, where do you get this? Where do you get this? How do you do it? So
Especially when it's rain
when we
season.
give these people the platform to come and witness, and then you see journalists, they don't go without their cameras, so they just come and then set their cameras, and we give them that right. And we don't want it to be like, oh, because we are inviting them, we are no. So there are days that we can just be there, and then somebody just go, oh, Miss Jane, I'm in the office, I'm just passing by. We just get yes. So all the time we make sure that we are on track, because now we've built that rapport with them, so they can just say I'm passing by. Meanwhile, they are coming to do their own thing. Yes. So
Yes, because some people too will be like, if they give you a date that, oh, we are coming to have a tour at your factory or something, there you'll be like, oh, okay, so you talk to your workers, please. If they are not even wearing uniform, that's where you're going to buy uniform for them because, yeah, we are coming. Exactly, wear your gloves but if they come unexpectedly, there you are going to see say, so these people they are not even wearing those stuff.
customers that mostly they are also retailers. So sometimes we do allow them come. So they can just come, oh madam, I'm coming to just while away time. So sometimes when they come around and we are in the process of getting some product done, we just allow them to also see what they come to buy.
Okay, that's fine. So let's do this quickly. I want each person from each organization. We have two organizations here. Can you give us, some final words to public relations practitioners and professionals out there? Some last questions to encourage them in their operations and all that.
Okay. My final words is, as a PR professional out there, to anybody who is a PR professional out there, you need to stand by the truth. From the quotes for today, you need to stand by the truth and then the truth only. And then if you know you are dealing in any bias or bribery and corruption, please, you better stop. Otherwise, they are coming for you.
Okay. And for Denver Food and Beverages, our final words to PR practitioners as we are is the quote saying that as a PR professional, you need to uphold your values and your morals upright, and then you are willing, if you are not willing to resign from a job that conflicts with your ethical values, then you are still in the olden way of practicing PR. So as a PR professional in this 21st century, you need to know that your ethical values and your morals must be held upright by your organization because you owe them loyalty and to your profession as well. So we believe in upholding loyalty, truth, and protecting our integrity and reputation.
Thank you very much.
Thank
very
you
much.
too.
It was nice having you here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
To end this, we are trying to say that Thomas Ross quote is saying that if you are not willing to stand against or stand for your principle and against your personal and environmental interests, that is going to go against you.
Yeah.
And you're not able to quit your job, then you are not part.
Yes. Great. You must quit you.
Don't think about the money, please.
Yes. All right. Thank you very much. And then I'll continue the next section. Thank you.
Thank you too.
Welcome to the second session of the Ladies' Lodge. On set today, we have two different organizations. One is the Green Garden Hotels. As you can already see, they are repping their green, representing the organization. Then we have the People's Bank. From the Green Garden Hotel, we have Miss Abigail Kwanzaa and then Miss Bless. Then from the People's Bank, we have Miss Mirabel Edina. Okay, so today on set, we have a quote for the day. And this quote actually is from Thomas Ross. In this quote, he says that unless you are willing to resign on an account or a job over a matter of principle, it is no use to call yourself a member of the world's newest profession. You are already a member of the world's oldest. What does this quote mean to you personally or in the context of your organization? So I would like to take your views. The Green Garden.
Okay, so it's the quote emphasized on an individual to stand up for his or her moral values despite their situation.
So Ms. Mirabel, what's also your take on this quote?
Okay, I would say the quote is actually talking about the importance of ethics and the principles of PR. So, I mean, as a practitioner or a PR, you should be able to stand for what is right, no matter what the situation is. Yeah.
Okay, so moving on, we'll be delving into various questions that will be shown to the various organizations. So, to Green Garden Hotels, in the hospitality industry where you find yourself, where customer satisfaction is key and paramount in your industry, how do you prioritize integrity and principled decision making?
Okay, so we have integrity and principled decision making. So I'll talk about integrity for a start. With integrity, we have laid down procedures. We do in-service training for our employees to make sure that they always uphold their values and their principles in our esteem. And then when it comes to decision making, we prioritize customer feedback very well in my organization. So we listen to what our customers have for us, we listen to their feedback, and then work on it to improve our services for our customers.
Okay. So to you, Ms. Miracle, in the financial sector where you find yourself, because already you are working in the bank, so where trust is very paramount in your services, how do you prepare to deal with real work ethical dilemmas where principles might clash with job security?
Okay, so I had a case some couple of months. Yes. So you see, after when it comes to the banking sector, like my organization, after the sales, we are supposed to transfer the money to the Bank of Ghana. So one day after the sale, when the physical cash was brought in, I realized that the cash was more than what was on the paper. So of course, I'm a human being. I could have just taken away the excess money and then send what was supposed to be sent to the bank. But of course, I took the pain to go through everything to see where the problem was and was able to solve that. Yes.
Okay, so back to Green Garden Hotels. In high-stake corporate environment, how do you balance loyalty to leadership with your responsibility to the public, pertaining to the fact that you work in the hospitality industry, which is specifically the hotel industry here?
Okay, so we ensure that the needs of our customers are met and confidentiality is ensured.
Okay.
So, for instance, maybe a guy who has two girlfriends, a main chick and a side chick, walks in with a side chick.
Okay.
And then maybe someone sell out to their main girlfriend and she comes in there. We can't tell her. We cannot provide her with any information about her boyfriend.
But sometimes there are instances where maybe you, the CEO of that particular hotel, you might not be the one to do that, but let's say there are other employees that because of the tip they might take from the girlfriend that is coming to seek for the room of the guy, they intend giving out the room number to the lady just to go and have to show off whatsoever kind of thing they want to do, just because maybe there has been a transaction, maybe the person at the counter has given the person who came to seek for that information has given money to the person when you find out as a PRO in your organization, how do you sanction such employee in your organization?
Okay, so from time to time we train them and then educate them on moral values and principles. So with someone like that, we know how to deal with that person.
Okay, so do you give the person a sack letter or you still retain the person?
Not immediately.
Okay. Okay, that's great. So to you, Miss Miracle, how do you think financial institutions can balance the need for profitability with the importance of standing by their principles, since you are in the banking sector?
Okay, so when it comes to the banking sector, I think trust is something key that we are supposed to look at or we uphold, because when you build trust with your customers, they intend to invest more and then save more. Some even go the extra mile to recommend other people to come and save with us or invest with us, and then through that you're able to get enough profit.
But in some certain banks, I might not mention some names per se, but there are some banks that they don't really prioritize trust issues between their organization and then their customers, or let me say clients, with the fact that they really care about the profit margins they will make for their organization. So in that situation, have you come across such like situation in your organization?
Actually, I've not come across, even we don't do that in our banks, but then I know of other banks who do that. But then you see, there's when customers get to know this, they are all going to go away, and then the bank is going to collapse. And so, as the bank collapses, you, the PR professional over there, your integrity is going to be at stake, as well as the reputation of the organization or the bank. Yeah.
Okay, so I think I'll give you a final question from for you, the Green Garden Hotel. So actually, what do you suggest organizations should do to define and enforce ethical standards in their communication?
Okay, so when I started, I spoke about in-service training. So I believe in in-service training. You have to train your employees, sensitize them on what to do and how to do it, so that they can always be at service to their customers.
Okay. So on this session, I would like to ask you all your take on the quotes for the day that we stated earlier on, your last take on it. What do you suggest other people that are into the profession should do in their various organizations?
Okay, so I'll tell my colleagues out there that now our profession, the PR and the marketing profession, is losing its reputation. So I'll urge each and every one of us to hold the principles and the values of our profession high, so that we can all together lift the name of the PR profession
In highest.
in high esteem.
Sure. Ms. Muramo, what's also your take, your final take?
So I'm using this platform to tell professionals out there that PR is not a luxury, it's a necessity. So no matter what the situation is, even though there's a form of luxury in PR to make it a bit nice, you should always uphold ethics in whatever you do.
Okay. Thank you all for coming in this session, but there is going to be a final session. This one is a fun aspect of the session, in as much as it still links up to our profession. We are not driving away from the profession, yes, but we just want to have a little fun aspect here. So actually, it's just going to be a yes or no answer. So when I ask you the question and then your take is a no, you just give me a wave like this. If it's a yes, you just do something like this in the area.
Okay.
Okay. So one of the fun-driven statements for the day today I want to ask is, public trust is crucial in our current work dispensation. Have you faced internal pressure to compromise transparency for client convenience?
Oh, yes.
So meaning we are all guilty. Yes. Okay. Okay, so I once almost compromised my principles over clients' convenience.
Yeah.
Hey, for real.
Yeah.
Okay. You have got a bombshell, a bombshell story that could thank a major advertiser. Publish it without hesitation.
Oh, I know.
Meaning you are holding to your ethics and principles.
Exactly.
As Thomas Rose stated in the quote. Okay. I've been asked to bury a report that could cause public panic. I will take it or link it anonymously.
I'm a whistleblower.
Link it anonymously.
Is it because it's anonymously? That's how you do it?
Yes, exactly.
Out there, so.
I'm not going to put my image out, so that's fine.
Interesting. Okay, you've just discovered your company is forging sustainability reports. Pretend you didn't see it.
I saw it. I saw it.
Hey, you really want to uphold your professional standard.
Oh, yes.
That's what we stand out for.
Okay, hiding the truth for stability is more forgivable in PR.
But why should you hide the truth?
Yeah, it's forgivable sometimes.
Okay. Okay.
I'm saying
Once
no.
again, thank you for joining us on today's session on the Ladies' Lunch. It has been very comprehensive, insightful, and fun as well. This brings us to the end of today's discussion on the Ladies' Lunch. Thank you for having us on today's session.
And this brings us to the end of today's episode, which has been very insightful.
Catch us next week, same time. I am Alberta Amembwe.
And I am Benis Ifia Hakrown, and this is the Ladies' Lounge.